example of that, where we actually run the halls as if it's one of our own, but the rent is actually collected eventually by the private contractor. So we think we've got between 60 and 90 rooms coming on board there. That's really important. The Havan building, which you can see sort of coming up behind the back, that will be ready with 90 rooms for this September as well. We're also having negotiations with sensible other people that we probably should have spoken to already in the past. People like Bromwise Hospital, who have a large amount of accommodation for staff and students, seeing if we can use some of their stock, because we know that some of their accommodation isn't actually in use fully. So we'll do as much as we can. We're meeting almost every fortnight at the moment, so that we're tracking those numbers, we're sharing that information with the Guild, but we're also not taking our eye off the ball at a senior management level to make sure we address it. We got the, the accommodation office have been really, really proactive, well, reactive and proactive, because they set up a Facebook page after they saw the concerns of students who joined the Facebook page who were worried about accommodation for this coming year. So on that website, if you look for Aberystwyth accommodation, their Facebook page, everything that's coming in that once upon a time was just going on a pin board next to them, they're actually putting that onto the Facebook page so that anybody, wherever they are, can actually find that information about the private supply that's going on. It does look like we're having a good reaction from some of the private landlords in town in terms of bringing more accommodation online. People are realising, I think I look at it, that's the positive impact of getting the story out there that we've got, that there are concerns for this year. People are realising that they want to get things in place, it's going to help people. We're also talking to staff, university staff, to talk them through a scheme whereby they can rent a room within their house. It's something we've done in the past where it's gone through, we particularly pushed that with postgraduate students who are doing the teacher training. So we're making it simple for staff to understand how they would get their room up to the right level of standard. We've also offered university support in terms of doing things like the fire regs and the electricity testing and those sorts of things, and making it easy for them to understand how the tax regulations would work if they went into that rented room scenario, so they could also advertise that using the accommodation page. In the longer term, we have got plans which we're working with Ceredigion Council on to create a new student village. In addition to Pensionary Morgan, so it would be near Pensionary Morgan. And so that's the longer term view, is investing heavily into that environment. And also making sure the environment that was made available there had the right sorts of facilities, so it wasn't just accommodation, but we also looked at the other things that students would need in that space. But that is in the longer term, because obviously we're going to get all of the different agreements locally to get that done, but there's a commitment in the university and the estate strategy to get that additional accommodation online. So in the short term, for any additional ideas, we are happy to take them and certainly channel them through John or channel them through other routes as well, so that we can pick up on anything else that you think that we should be doing, that we could be doing.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have to go now?
Do you know, I really do. I'm supposed to be listening to the head of the British Library who's talking to the old college. Anyone else who wants a lift down to hear about libraries in the 21st century? Happy to give you a spin. Thanks for having me. Do feel free to ask any other questions when you see me around. And I hope you're enjoying the Hero Library. But one thing, I'm just going to do a little plug. We're really, really pleased with the success of the changes there, but we know different people have got different ideas. Do fill in the feedback forms about that. But on the whole, we're seeing 12% more visitors to the library at the moment, and we're seeing about 9–10% more loans to students as well. And the changes we made were in response to last year's IS user survey and the NSS results. So anything else that you think that we should be doing, do fill in your NSS forms if you're in your third year now, because that really gives us valuable information about the sorts of things we should be doing. The more feedback we get, the better that we can get, the more that we can listen to what you need us to do. Otherwise we'll assume we're doing fine, but also do praise us as well, if there is anything you can praise, because that is quite nice as well. Thanks ever so much, everyone.
There's dancing behind movie scenes, behind the movie scene.
Unlike last time, I'm going to actually call a pause check now, just so that we don't go into the meeting with any false pretense. So just bear with us a moment, we'll just count everyone in the room. One more time. You don't have to like sit still like a statue. That's it's not like Heathrow Airport. We count 88 in the room. You've got my feeling there, Andrew. I swear. So, like the last GM, because we don't have 100 people in the room, the meeting isn't quorate, and therefore, according to the Guild Constitution, any decisions made at this meeting aren't binding, which is annoying.
Are we doing 12?
We need 12 more. Don't solve it. We now have 102 people in the room. So right, now we can now proceed with the meeting as a core meeting, and therefore any decisions are binding. Okay, so we're going to move on to approval of the GM minutes from the GM held on Thursday the 2nd of December 2010. These will be available online since about 2 weeks after the meeting, and they're in your booklet now. Does anyone have any inaccuracies that they want to correct in the minutes? I didn't receive any apologies from Jess. Not at that meeting. This Thursday, 2nd of December. Are you potentially in Glasgow? Right. Okay. Yeah, okay, can I have a proposer for the minutes? Okay, John, seconder. Newcomb, Chris Newcomb.
Honey, she's the one that keeps the dream alive from the morning past the evening.
We're now going to have officer progress reports on motions. There we go. Yeah, officer progress reports on motions. Can I have Gabriel Alden, please, the Equal Opportunities Officer, to report on his progress on the Equal Opportunities Groups motion?
Hi, I'm currently talking to the information services to find out how we can actually set up a mailing list. And I'm also hoping, this actually came to me earlier, that we can begin building up the list of people interested in women's issues at International Women's Day on Tuesday. Yeah, so